We finally had a sunny day here in Wrangell back in December, about a week shy of the shortest day of the year. There's the sun popping out from behind the mountain at about 11:30 in the morning. And then I caught the sun setting over Warnofsky Island. It's called Warnkovsky Island on the maps, but people here call it Warnofsky. This is the gap between where the sun rises right there at the shoulder of the mountain and then sets over that outer island. And so during the winter, the sun is lower on the horizon, but the geography of the area makes it even darker during the winter time. And there's the sun setting a little after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's January 1st, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, overcast and raining as usual. That's where the sun would normally come up in the summertime. There's Warnofsky Island hidden behind the fog. Then we come around and here's that mountain again that obscures the sun during the wintertime, and the peak behind the fog. And then there's a saddle in the land, and that's where the sun would come up in the summertime. So that time of year, the sun is higher on the horizon, and there's no large land masses to obscure the sun, so the days are really long. And looking at the seagulls again, looking out from the boatyard. This is a satellite image of the north end of Wrangell Island. There's the airport runway to the east and the town of Wrangell to the west. And then to the south is that mountain that obscures the sun during the winter time. Tyler and I have climbed that up to that peak a number of times, and it's kind of hard going because you can see at the base there it's been logged, and there's a bunch of slash that you have to kind of skinny up the logs and kind of try and brush away the salmon berries and blueberry bushes and devil's club to get up into the forest there. And once you do, you can more easily kind of climb up to that peak. So in the future, we're going to try and find a easier way at the base, hopefully, to get up to that peak. It's a cool view down on Wrangell. So this is a view looking down from that peak. There's the back channel of the island, the airport runway, the town of Wrangell, and as we come around here, you can barely start seeing Warnofsky Island behind that tree. And as we move out from looking down at Wrangell Island, you can now see Warnofsky Island to the west there. Zooming out, there's the mainland to the east and then all the outer islands surrounding Wrangell Island. Here's all of southeast Alaska with Juneau, the capital, to the north of us. Southeast Alaska borders the top end of British Columbia, and to the northwest of us is Anchorage and the main part of Alaska. So that's why they call us Southeast Alaska, because we're on the panhandle there. A lot of people were concerned for us when Anchorage recently had that earthquake, but as you can see, we're quite a ways away from Anchorage in what I call real Alaska. Looking back down at a close-up of the top of Wrangell Island and the city of Wrangell there's a road that goes out to the airport and then back around, and that's what we call the loop. It's about 3 miles and takes about an hour to walk around. But I wasn't going to walk around it today because it was pouring down rain, so I took the truck, which takes about 10 minutes to get around, and I'll give you some highlights here. That's the ferry terminal right there. I've actually never taken the ferry in Alaska. Used to take a ferry when I lived in Washington State, but I haven't done that since I've gotten here. People have got their headlights on so they can get around. It's just, super foggy. You're going to see the water out here. Usually you can see a bunch of little land masses out there, but not going to see much today. There's the entrance to the transfer center where we take all of our waste, and then it gets picked up and barged out. Interesting little tidbit for you. Now we're headed down to the airport. Normally you can see the big mountains covered in snow on the mainland from here, but all you're really seeing is foggy gray masses out there. I'm going to turn in here to the airport. There's the little terminal there for Alaska Airlines. That's where you go if you're a passenger. And the cargo is held in this next building here, and there's the entrance. And then at the very end here is Sunrise Aviation. And they take folks, you know, all around the different islands, different destinations. Kind of a little more short hops. And you can leave your car down here in the parking lot for as long as you want to. And there's a hardcore Wrangellite out with the dog walking. And back on the loop toward town. Now we're going to start to get a little view of that mountain. There's the peak there. The mountain that obscures the sun during wintertime. Just kind of popping out there behind these trees as we move along here. That right there is Spur Road. It goes out kind of towards the back channel. And then it just turns into a gravel road where you can go onto a bunch of logging roads, and that's how we end up getting at the base of that mountain. Coming up here is the elementary school, that blue building there, and then just beside it is the hospital. Pretty soon we're going to have it, you know, in a few more years, a new hospital that's going to be built elsewhere. This building up on our left here is our volunteer fire station, licensing and other things like that. And now we're turning on to Church Street. That is the back end of our post office, and we're headed back down to the ferry terminal. I promise you guys, as soon as we get a sunny day in the future, I will take you out to get a better view of where I live. Hey guys, we scored a really nice day. It's January 3rd, and the sun is going down over Warnofsky Island. Got a picture of that mountain behind us. Whoa. Getting blinded by the light. Okay, see you guys next week.